So looking at this current Bitcoin price action, we can see, guys, the price of Bitcoin right now is flashing us a very interesting scenario. A scenario which is pointing us where the price in the immediate short term, where the price for the upcoming days might be possibly heading. So before I start talking about it, let's destroy that like button and let's try to reach at least 1,000 like in this video. Thank you very much. Now, as we are aware, Bitcoin since couple of weeks was following this parabolic curve pattern. Everything was lining up perfectly. We formed base 1, base 2, base 3, base 4, and we were on our way to form a blow off top type of formation, just like I shown you an example. And only after that we were expecting a reversal. But after the announcement from President Trump, the entire sentiment changed overnight. I mean, from bullish to bearish. But has Bitcoin really topped out? And we should prepare ourselves for a continuation, which could look somehow like this, because if you monitor this leading indicator, you can see, yes, we are still below the October CPR. These trend lines are very important line for us, and since we are below it now, the same line which during uptrend acts as support will be acting as resistance. Yes, guys, this trend line around 112,400 to 113,800 will be looked as resistance. But if we could somehow come across this trend line and close the monthly candle in between this range, that is exactly what we want to see. I mean, Bitcoin closing the monthly candle above 112,500 or 113,800 for the best case scenario. But below that range means we must prepare ourselves for a continuation, which could look somehow like this. Bitcoin showing a relief rally, failing to regain strength inside this October CPR, and then a continuation of an downtrend, which unfortunately could bring the price of Bitcoin below 100,000. Yes, guys, if Bitcoin fails to regain strength inside this October CPR before ending the month of October, and in the medium short term closes below this previous low, or let's say the S1 line around 108,000, then we are in trouble, guys. Bitcoin breaking below the previous low means we are in trouble, which could bring the price of Bitcoin around 100,000 and even lower. So what we want to avoid is a continuation like this. For that, Bitcoin must regain strength above this October CPR, and for now simply hold its ground above this S1 line 108,500, 108,600. Around that range is where we want Bitcoin to remain. But before we close the month, we need this resistance, the October CPR, to be flipped into support at any cost, because closing the month below this trend line means the next month CPR, the November CPR, will be a descending CPR, and we know descending CPR only gets formed when the price is in a downtrend. So to avoid this move, we need Bitcoin before ending the month of October to regain strength inside this CPR trend line. And why is this so important? Because you can see Bitcoin at the moment is also forming a rising wedge type of formation. A rising wedge is considered as a bearish continuation pattern, where upper trend line acts as resistance and lower trend line acts as support. In our case, this lower trend line is holding us. So as long as we remain around this key line, you can see Bitcoin will do its absolute best to re-enter inside this CPR line. So if Bitcoin does that, then we can see this could result in a relief rally, a continuation, which for the medium short term could look somehow like this. But be careful, guys, these lines here will be acting as resistance. So if Bitcoin after a relief rally fails to hold the ground around the CPR trend line, then after the small relief rally, we are expecting a continuation, which will look somehow like this. So again, to avoid this bearish continuation, from this rising wedge, we need Bitcoin at any cost to regain strength inside this October CPR. And why? Because if you simply zoom out, if you look at this in a weekly time frame, what I want you guys to do is to monitor this horizontal trend line. This horizontal trend line is a very important line. It acted as resistance when we were below it, acted as support when we were above it. So since the price is still above this key trend line, that is why we need Bitcoin to hold this last line of support at any cost. Otherwise, you can see in a weekly time frame, Bitcoin will also lose this key support, and that could be resulting in a continuation which might mark the top for Bitcoin. I mean, a double top type of formation, which could result in another bearish continuation, a pullback below 100,000. So to avoid this move, again, Bitcoin must regain strength inside this CPR trend line. And parallelly, even according to this weekly time frame, you can see Bitcoin is looking weak, but if you monitor this price action using a 50 exponential moving average, you can see this 50 exponential moving average always attracted the price before starting with a new bullish move. In our case, we are clearly above it, but if Bitcoin loses this trend, loses the support which we have around 108,000, the last line of support, then this here could be resulting in a pullback which could attract us around this falling trend line and even around this 50 exponential moving average, which will be below 100,000. So to avoid this bearish move, right, we need Bitcoin at any cost to remain above $108,000. That's the last line of support, the S1 line, and to somehow close the monthly candle inside this CPR trend line to avoid a continuation which might look somehow like this. Another continuation rising wedge, another continuation towards this 50 exponential moving average, and another continuation following this double top type of formation. So you can see, to avoid all this bearish continuation, Bitcoin must show strength. Bitcoin must come across this October CPR. So please do not jump into any trade unless certain line of support or resistance gets broken. Yes guys, these were some of the quick updates that I wanted to share with you in this video. If you enjoyed my work, then please do not hesitate to destroy that like button, and to those individuals watching this for the first time, to hit that subscribe button. And also a quick reminder, if you haven't claimed this free money $30,050 bonus from Bybit, then definitely check the video description, because this event is temporary, and if you are an experienced trader who want to take advantage of this market volatility and trade with free money, then please check the video description. And by saying this, I'm signing out until next time. Bye bye.